what we're going to do tonight is go step by step through the membership area. And when we do that, what we're also going to do is take an upcoming auction. So we're going to find an upcoming auction. There's an auction coming up in California on November 9th. Okay? So we're going to go find this auction list, which is a list of properties that are coming up for auction. We're going to take a piece of property off of that, and we're going to take the address, and we're going to do some research online. So this is all live. You're going to watch it unfold right in front of your eyes, a step-by-step walkthrough on finding an upcoming auction and researching properties on that upcoming auction list. Okay? Because the goal of this entire training event is for everybody to get familiar with the membership area and how you can take advantage of the tools, right, all the benefits in the program to help save you tons of time and help increase that return on your investment. All right, so we figured if actually Ted said, hey, let's build a membership area and let's show people how to research properties online, how to do it successfully, okay, and then also provide tutorials and some research tools and whatever is needed to help you have a better educated idea of what properties you want to bid on when you go to the auction, if you want to physically go there, or if you want to bid online. There's many, many online auctions, and you can bid, you can research the properties as well as bid on the properties from the comfort of your living room or bedroom or whatever it is your laptop or your computer's at. That's what we're going to go through tonight. Let's give it another 30 seconds or so, and then we'll get started. As we wait for those people to come on last minute, I want to encourage everybody to just test out this system with me. I want to make sure that everything's working properly and everybody can hear me. For those of you that are new to Tuesday night's call, what you'll notice is there's a little pop-up whenever you joined, and there's a questions area. Okay, you're actually able to type in a question. So I want you to type in the question, hey, it's me, I'm here, I hear everything's fine, I see your screen. Just let me know. Give me a little communication. All right, I see a bunch coming in now. Hi, George, Adam. Thank you for responding. Hi, Yvonne. Okay, great. All right. Perfect. Oh, there's a lot coming in. We have a great turnout tonight, too, a great turnout. Just so you know, hi, Bill. How are you? Thanks for coming on the call. Okay. So for those of you who have requested the replay from last week, we went ahead and put it inside of the membership area, and you'll notice if you're seeing my screen on the left, you'll see a yellow highlighted area with text, and it starts with update. Click here to watch a live training event replay from October 15, 2013. Okay? So this is the new area. For those of you who haven't logged in a couple of weeks, you'll see this looks a little bit different than what you're used to. Well, there's a reason for that. We wanted to make it simple to use, and functionality, it's a lot streamlined. It's going to get you to where you need to be as far as researching properties online. So just notice that every time we have a replay, we'll go ahead and send out an email, so we'll let everybody know, okay? And we're going to tell you to come right into this area, in the membership area, and look at the top in that highlighted section where it says update. And what you're going to do is if you look all the way to the right here, you'll see the October 15th. It'll simply be updated with the replay from the previous week. So you'll see the date's been changed, okay? So right now, we're going to go ahead and get started. I think we've given everybody enough time to come on. What I want to do is introduce everybody to the new membership area. Okay, if you were here last week, you saw the new layout, and you're probably somewhat familiar with what's here. And you'll notice not much has changed as far as what's available, but the layout, obviously some graphic changes have been there, and we've also made some other text and video changes too. So we're going to cover that. We're just going to simply start from step 1, which is a do this first, okay? And then we're going to go all the way through. We're going to go from left to right, top to bottom, just like you would read a book. So what we're going to do is, before we kick this off, I want to ask everybody, if you have not logged into your membership program, for some reason, maybe you haven't received your login credentials, like your username and password, or you just haven't had time. If you haven't had time, after tonight, I'm sure you'll be encouraged to jump on in and start researching properties. But if you have not received your login information, please email me directly at Gary, G-A-R-Y, Gary, at Ted.Thomas.com. And just in the subject line, put, I need my login information for the membership area, okay? Everybody does receive it, but occasionally it will drop in spam or it might be overlooked. We all have busy lives, no problem. Just send me an email directly. You can even stop what you're doing now. Send me an email, Gary, G-A-R-Y, at Ted.Thomas.com. Say you need your membership login information, and we'll get that out to you first thing in the morning, okay? So let's go ahead and jump right in. This is the membership area, okay? And what this is an area that's going to take you all the way from finding an upcoming auction list to researching properties on that auction list, all right? So I see some questions coming in. I'll go ahead and answer them if they're kind of urgent or I feel I should pay attention to them. Usually I won't stop in the middle of going through these steps just because I'll get sidetracked and it'll confuse you, and I don't want to confuse you guys. So I want to start a point and then finish. But I do have, looks like one person, their audio is not working. The audio is working fine, it sounds like. Is everybody's audio okay? Just give me a yes. I just want to make sure it's narrowed down to that specific individual versus everybody else. Okay. Yeah, it looks like everybody else's audio is fine. Just maybe a simple, it's going to sound basic. Thank you, guys. Yes, all right, great. Just maybe turn your volume up. Make sure the speakers are plugged in, something basic like that if you cannot hear me, okay? Just so you know, I want everybody to know there's a replay of this, okay? So what we're doing right now is recording this entire session, all right? And we're going to go hopefully until around 9:50. Hopefully not too much later, so you guys can go to bed or eat dinner or whatever it is, spend time with the family. We'll record this, and the goal is tomorrow sometime by the end of the day to have this replay available for you, placed right here inside of the membership area in that little yellow highlighted area. You'll be able to click right on that and view tonight's call, okay? So always know that if you miss it, there's always going to be a replay, all right? We always try the following day. It could be an extra day or two, but just bear with us. We're very busy, but we know that's very important for you. We get a lot of requests. So going right here to step one, whenever you come to this membership area, if you've just received your tablet or you've just logged in for the first time, what we encourage everybody to do is to come right here, and there's a big do this first box, okay? This is step one. I want everybody to view this. If you haven't viewed it yet, make sure you click on the do this first, okay? This is mainly for those who have just came on board, just received your login information, just to receive your tablet. So let's go ahead and click on that. We'll cover this briefly. As you can see, this is a welcome, so it's more like an introduction. Welcome to the Property Research Tablet Program. And what we do is give you two simple steps that we want to encourage everybody to do. Now, everyone on this call has probably already done both of these steps, because you'll notice step two is to click here to register for Tuesday night's call. You either did that or you saw an email, clicked on register, and came, and now you're here. All right, but let's not forget step one. If you haven't done this, you want to click this link, and you're going to view a step-by-step walkthrough guide. So it's an instructional sheet that appears on the screen and just breaks down how to log into the Property Research Program, which is also called the membership area. We've used multiple names for it, but ultimately it's about researching properties, okay? So if you hear me use that, I use that loosely. But ultimately it's a membership area, okay? So you'll want to make sure you click on that, view the instructional sheet, follow that. That's going to answer a lot of basic, more simple questions. And then the Tuesday night calls will try and answer the functionality, right? And then kind of how everything works together and how it's going to benefit you researching properties and making a decision on which properties to bid on. And then when you have more specific questions on how auctions work, right? Or maybe rules of the auctions, that type of stuff. I strongly, strongly encourage you, we all do in the office, to jump on a Wednesday night call with Coach Crystal or Coach Bob, okay? So every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have a call. It's free for everybody to join. And you'll receive an email on Wednesday with the call-in information. It's a phone number and a PIN. You simply call in, and it's a question and answer. So you're able to ask the questions, and you get answers right back, okay? Now, these are from our coaches, from Ted's coaches, so that they're very savvy, right? And if they have an answer and they're able to answer it for you, they'll do it right there live on the call. So make sure you guys write your questions down and have those ready for her tomorrow. I do open the line here at the end, let's say for about 5 minutes or so. We'll go ahead and I'll take questions and I'll get those answered. So anything that pertains to this program, how it works and how it can benefit you and save you guys time, and also what we've covered for tonight, I'll make sure I answer for you before you go, okay? So we've taken care of this step one. I just want everybody to be familiar with this, as there might be some new people on the call tonight. I believe there are. So make sure you guys find time and take care of that, okay? We're going to simply go back. Everybody will notice a back button on the top left here. You just click that. It'll bring you back to the previous page, okay? So now what we want to do next is research properties on an upcoming auction, okay? That's what this is all about, is finding an upcoming auction list, a list of properties that are coming up for auction in a specific county, and then we're going to take a piece of property from that auction list. So we're going to take a physical address and do some research on that to determine if we want to bid on that property. All right. So in saying that, we have a little bit of a surprise for everybody. We've taken this kind of to the next level tonight because we want to show you pretty much all facets of how this program works in relating to finding counties that have upcoming auctions where you can physically go to the county and bid, right, like at the courthouse steps or wherever. And we also want to introduce to everybody the ability for you to find auctions that are online. Okay, so there's auctions that are being held online where you can purchase properties directly online. So it's actually an auction, right? So you're bidding against each other online. You're bidding on the property. Now there's a program, it's a website, which is called Bid for Assets. Okay, I want everybody to write this down if you have a piece of paper in front of you. Bid, B-I-D, the number 4, Assets, A-S-S-E-T-S, bidforassets.com. Now what I'm going to do is scroll down. Normally I don't jump ahead of myself, but I want everybody to see this little box down here where my mouse is moving. There's a tutorial on how Bid for Assets works. We want everybody to watch this if you've not watched it yet. And the tutorial is named Finally Bid for Assets Explained in Detail. You see this little Bid for Assets logo, okay? So again, it's bidforassets.com with the number 4. What bidforassets.com is a website that houses online auctions. So you're able to go there, find upcoming auctions that are being held online, and then we're able to find properties that are being auctioned off, and we can start researching that. So what we're going to do is find an upcoming auction list from bidforassets.com that's coming up online. Now that everybody on this call knows about Bid for Assets, you guys can go there at your own free time and look at all of the upcoming auctions and start doing your due diligence, start doing your research. And we're going to cover how to do some of that research tonight. So let's go ahead and let's go visit Bid for Assets, bidforassets.com. We're just going to pull that up. And here's Bid for Assets' website. Now, for what we need to do tonight, we do not need to log in. We're not placing bids on properties, so we don't need to log in or create an account. If you're curious on how Bid for Assets works and how you register, how you create an account, and you want to learn more information, then I strongly advise that you take the time to watch this tutorial. It shows you step by step how to register, what's involved, okay, how to find the rules of the auction, how to find upcoming auctions. It answers a lot of your questions, okay? So make sure you guys watch this. But tonight, for what we need, is we just need to know a list of upcoming auctions and what particular counties those auctions are being held so we can start doing our research. Now, if you'll notice here on the left, there's a link that says County Tax Sales. We're going to go ahead and click on that. Now that's going to bring us to an auction calendar. So here on the right-hand side is an auction calendar, and we have a list of upcoming auctions. So we have October, here's a Riverside, California. November, we have a lot in California and Washington, okay? So you're starting to get the idea. Bid for Assets has a lot of online auctions, and you'll see exactly how that's detailed here in the next couple of steps. But a lot of Bid for Assets' auctions take place on the West Coast, okay? So California, Washington, and you'll see that. It's a constant theme, and that's really what they specialize in. So we have a lot of Canadians, right? Friends north of the border. Some of you live very close to these areas. So make sure you come back at your own free time and start taking advantage of what Bid for Assets will provide you. All right? So for example, tonight what we want to do, and I just grabbed it out of nowhere, is Sutter, California. Okay, so my mouse is waving over it. Sutter, California, and that's November 9th through 12th are the auction dates. We're going to go ahead and click on Sutter, California. That's going to bring us to the Bid for Assets page for Sutter, California. All right. So what we want to do first is find out the auction dates. All right. And we want to find the rules of the auction. So we want to be familiar with how the auction works. We're not going to have time to go through the rules tonight, but it's important for us to show you where you can find the rules so you can familiarize yourself with them, and there's no surprises when the auction starts. So here we have the auction date, okay, November 9th, starting at 11 a.m., which is 8 a.m. Pacific, okay, so 11 Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. For contact information, here's a link, right, that goes directly to, it looks like the Sutter website. It's an email address. And below that, we have additional county information can be contained at the Sutter County website. So chances are we're able to click here and we're able to find information about this upcoming auction, like wouldn't it be nice to know what properties are on the upcoming auction list? So now we know what to research. Now in saying that, let's go back to this property research program, okay, the members area. And we want to click on this second box. It's everything you ever wanted to know about property research. This is really where you should start, okay? Now, before you even start looking for an auction list or researching properties, definitely come here, click on this, and what we've done, what Ted's done, is broken down into 5 simple steps for you to stay focused, and these simple steps will take you from finding the upcoming auction list all the way through researching individual properties on that list, okay? The ultimate goal here is to eliminate properties from that list that you have no intention of bidding on. So you'll be prepared, you'll have your notes ready, and you'll already have an idea and a number of what you want to bid on those properties for at the auction. Okay, so you're ready, you know exactly what you want to do, and you've eliminated 50, 60, 70, 80, 90% of the properties on that auction list, so you don't even worry about them. Okay, all you're doing is focusing on that specific property or properties that you want to bid on. Okay, so starting here is step 1. Step 1 is to find the tax auction list. Well, we've still yet to do that. All we've covered on this call so far is overviewing bid for assets. So let's find the auction list first, okay? So let's go ahead and click on the Sutter County website, and let's see if we can find an auction list of properties. Well, I spent a little bit of time. Today was the first day I've ever been to Sutter County, California's website, all right? So it took me about 5 minutes. I overviewed the site. I found out where I need to go, right? Not every county website is identical. They don't have the same layout. So unfortunately, you might need to spend a few minutes browsing the website to find out the exact information you want. But the information will be there. If you think about it, it's important for the counties to make that information, I guess you could say, readily available, right? Especially online, because the more eyes, the more people that see that there's an upcoming auction, the better chance of those properties being bid on at the auction. So that's the goal. So you're able to find it somewhere. This county has it on the top right. You'll see under current news. It says Sutter County Tax Defaulted Properties Auction. Okay, Sutter County has a scheduled public auction beginning on November 9th, 2013, yada, yada. Let's click here for more information. And here we have, it looks like just an overview of the property auction. And it tells you can go to bidforassets.com Sutter. That's where the auction will be held. It's an internet auction. It's being held on the internet, so you don't have to physically be there. And for more information, we're going to click this little More button, and that's going to open up a page that's going to give us rules of the auction. Okay, we're not going to cover them now, but on your own time, I strongly recommend you come back and just get yourself familiar. If you have no intention on bidding on the Sutter County November 9th auction, no biggie. That's only right around the corner, but we're doing this to familiarize you with the process, okay? So when you come here, go ahead and read the rules so you're familiar with it, and chances are the rules will be somewhat similar to the next auction that you decide and you plan on going to bid at. So here's the rules of the auction. As we scroll down, you'll notice we see a list of properties. So right here is a list of properties, and it looks like there's about, I'm not going to count them, but we'll say 20, right? 20 to 25 properties that are coming up for auction in Sutter County. Now let's start with the information that they give us. Okay, remember, we're going to go back to step 1. It's find the tax auction list. So we want to find the auction list, and now that we've found it, let's go ahead and just review what information is given to us on this list. Not all lists are the same. Not all of them provide this information. Some provide a little bit more, some provide a little bit less. But it's important to know what you're working with, because that's how you're able to research the properties online. So let's start from the front. This is APN, Assessor's Parcel Number. Okay. Now this is an internal number that's given to the properties, and what you can do is take this number and you're able to enter it into a property appraiser or a property assessor's website. Those terms are used back and forth. So some counties call it a property appraiser, others call it a property assessor's website. But most, if not all, I mean, it's safe to say 99% of counties have an assessor or an appraiser's website. And you're able to find this website, enter in, for example, an assessor's parcel number, and that's going to give you public information, so public data about that property. In most cases, you're able to find out how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, the assessed value of the property. Okay, and once you know the assessed value of the property, you're able to find out what the taxes are of the property. Okay, all of that's listed in most cases on this on the property appraiser or the property assessor's website. So we're able to find that information, and we'll take you through those steps now. As we go over, we have last assessee. So this is who the property is owned by, right? So current owner. We also have situs address, which is just whenever you hear situs, think site. Okay, the site or location, the address of the property. Okay. Then we have the city, which is where the property is located, and the minimum bid. Now, minimum bid, it includes back taxes. Okay, in some cases it includes taxes that are coming up for the next year, or maybe that are still outstanding. So it's important to understand the rules of the auction to know exactly what minimum bid consists of. In some cases, you need to bring a little bit more than minimum bid to the auction with you. In this case, the auction's online. So it's important for you to read the rules and find out what minimum bid includes, and if you need to bring any more money, or in this case, you would deposit money into an account aside, above and beyond the minimum bid. Okay, so that's very important to read the rules of that auction. Well, now that we've found the auction list, let's go back. We don't want to get sidetracked. We always want to stay on track. It's very simple, and you'll see how easy it is to get lost when looking at properties online, okay, especially when researching them. So we put these steps together so you stay focused and you save time. Step 2 is to locate the property appraiser or assessor's website. Now, if we read the description down here, that tells us a quick little way to do that. And that says, use TED's U.S. directories to locate the county property appraiser's website. Most property appraisers' websites feature a search tool. Remember, I was just going over that. A search tool where you will enter the legal description, also called parcel ID or property description, and is provided on the tax sale list. So in this case, we're probably going to use that APN, the assessor's parcel number. All right, we just have the parcel ID or property description in here, which is also called a legal description. I don't want to get into that. We don't want to confuse you guys, but just know that there's always going to be some sort of information on that auction list that you're able to take and plug in to a property appraiser or property assessor's website and pull out more information. You'll see exactly how we do that. Okay, so let's go back and let's click on the U.S. directories. So here on step 2, it says use TED's U.S. directories to locate the county property appraiser site. So we're going to go back and we're going to find the U.S. directories. You'll see right here, it's the third box. It says every county in America, here's property directories. Let's go ahead and click on that. And we're going to find the property appraiser or property assessor, right? Same thing. We're going to find their website. So what we want to do is click this big click here to view all U.S. directories. That's going to bring us to a page, and this just kind of gives you a general overview of what the directories are, what they're made up of, and how they work. We're going to scroll down, and we want to select California. This is Sutter, California. So we have a breakdown of every state in the United States. You're able to click on it, and it's going to take us to a list of counties that we can then click on and get all the websites, basically all the county information for each one of these states. So you can either click on the state here, or you'll see if we scroll down, we have a map. A lot of you like visuals. So you can click on the state here. For example, California here on the left. Let's go ahead and click on that. That's going to open up. And as we scroll down, this just gives us gives everybody an overview of California and, some census information, maybe population and all that good stuff. Well, now we're in the list of California counties. This is on page 3 of it. You're just going to scroll down a couple pages. And we're interested in Sutter County, S-U-T-T-E-R. You'll see that over here on the right. See Sutter? Now, I want to say it because everybody on every call always asks this question. Gary, what are these numbers over to the right of each county? It doesn't mean anything. All it does is, for here, it's a reference point because this tells what page in this directory that we're on that this county appears. So don't worry. The numbers mean nothing to you. Don't disregard them. We've made it simple for you. You don't have to go to that page. You can simply click on Sutter. Let's click on the county. And it's going to take us to a page that has the information that we need for Sutter County. And the information that we're looking for is the property assessor's website. Okay. Once we have the property assessor's website, we're able to take that APN, the assessor parcel number, and find out the public information about this property so we can start doing our research. Well, here, if you'll notice on the bottom left is Sutter. So here's the information for Sutter. And think of it, like I said, just like reading a book. It's left to right, top to bottom. So see here, Sutter, we have the county treasurer. Well, we don't have anything below it, so let's come up to the top. See here, there's county assessor at the top right. So watch my mouse. It goes just like this, top to bottom, okay? So left to right. So now we have Sutter, the county treasurer. We don't need that. We want the assessor's website. So we're going to go ahead and click on this county assessor, and that's going to take us directly to Sutter County's property assessor's website. Now that we're here, again, not all websites look alike, so we want to kind of scour the site a little bit for a minute or two and find out where we can find the search area so we can enter the assessor's parcel number for this particular property. Now, if we have a few people who have probably joined this call since I started, so I'm just going to recap over 30 seconds what we're doing. We found an upcoming auction list. Okay, the upcoming auction list, I'm just going to go to it, is for Sutter County. And this list is a list of properties that are coming up for auction. Okay, and as we scroll down, we'll see this list. It looks like about 20 properties on this auction list. Well, here's an assessor's parcel number. We're going to be able to take that information and plug it into the property assessor's website. So it's going to give us some information about the property. It's all public record. So now what we're going to do is let's pick a property on here first to go ahead and do some research. This is 4919. So it looks like Deanne Street. Okay. So here's the assessor's parcel number right now. So just for the rest of this call, we all know we're going to use this right here. We're going to research this property. Okay, it's just under $5,000 minimum bid. And we want to go back. Now this is the property assessor's website. We found it. If you follow the steps, which are listed, they're outlined right here inside of your membership area, we follow the steps. And step 2 is to locate the property or assessor's website. So now we're going to locate it. We've located it right here. And again, it's going to take you a minute or two to scour the site, find out where it is. Well, right here we see online services. Okay, there's a link that says search the Sutter County assessment roll. Let's go ahead and click on that. It's going to bring us to a page where it looks like it's just asking us to type in something, just so it knows we're a human and we're not a robot, or just disregard. Just if it asks you to type in text, go ahead and type it in. Now we're going to scroll down. This is a disclaimer, as you'll see on all county websites, especially that provide information. So we're just going to click I agree and continue down here on the bottom right. And you'll see here's the Sutter County assessment roll, okay? And we have the assessor parcel number, okay? Now this assessor parcel number, let's go ahead and grab that. That's right here. It looks like 06650-062. See that? 06650-062. Now, what I recommend is if you do not understand or know how to copy and paste, learn it, okay? It's very important and will save you a lot of time when researching properties. I'm going to simply copy and paste this assessor parcel number right into, first of all, in the assessment roll search. Okay, so let's see what that provides us. Let's go ahead and right-click, paste, and then we're going to click on a search. And let's see what kind of information we can pull from this property. Okay, now we have right at the top here, it says 2013 assessment, 2783 Deanne Street. We want to make sure that's right. So let's go back to our auction list, and let's see if that matches up. See here, 2783 Deanne Street. Okay, so that's correct. We know we're working with the same property. Again, it's going to restate the address, and it looks like it's going to give us some assessed values for that property right now. So we have a land, okay? The assessed value of the land looks like it's $20,000. and the assessed value of the improvements is $70,000. Okay, so that's $90,000. Now, I don't know if this county only likes to work with numbers in the 10,000s, right? So every 10,000, that's usually kind of rare that it's exactly a figure that's divisible by 10. But you know, either way, it's they have assessed value of 20,000 and assessed value of 70,000. So combine those, the land and the improvement, and an improvement is just something, a structure that's located on that property. Could be a commercial building, could be a residence, what have you, could be a house. So that's a residential unit. Combine those, and that's $90,000. So now you have an idea as far as assessment on what that is, okay? And then there's probably some more information. Let's go back and let's see if we can find out any more information on this county website. Let's go back. And I'm just going to keep clicking the back button. Here's a Parcel Quest Lite link. Now I'm doing this 100% live right now. I haven't clicked it. I've researched the property right prior to getting on the call, so everything kind of goes smoothly and we all stay on track. But I've never clicked the Parcel Quest Lite on this Sutter County, California. I'm hoping, because the county I live in provides a lot more information on properties. So, for example, it gives me a map, you know, like I can view the property. We can also see number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, maybe when it recently sold, like who purchased the property and how much for. So let's click on this Parcel Quest Lite. Sounds like something interesting, and maybe it'll take us somewhere where we can go. Okay, this is going to say continue to an external website. Parcel Quest Lite user agreement. Accept assessor's parcel number. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and enter that in. And I promise you, cross my heart, this is the first time I pulled this up. So now you can see that it's asking for the assessor's parcel number. So they're always going to give you something important that you can use or take away from that auction list to do your research. And so let's click this Start Search and see what we get. Looks like it found assessor's parcel number. It found one. And looks like there's an orange button here that I can click on. And now we have some detailed information on this property. This is great. This is exactly what I was talking about. All right. Now that we're here, we always want to make sure we don't get sidetracked. See how easy it is right now? I just got caught up in it. It's very easy to go from one place to another, click on links, enter the address or what have you, look for the address, find more information about the property. We always want to stay on track. So before we go any further, let's go back and make sure we're still on track. So step 2, we wanted to locate the property appraiser or assessor's website. We've already done that. Step 3, let's view the property information and locate the physical address. Okay, I'm just going to read this brief description. View all property information provided on the property appraiser or assessor's website, including physical address, assessed value, square footage, number of bedrooms, anything that matters. Okay, maybe the lot size, that's important to know, how much land is there. So we're going to go find this information and the property information as well as the physical address of that property. Okay, so now that we're at this page, and again, all county websites look different. It's not going to look just like this, but now you have a general idea, and you can always come back and watch this replay once or twice so you're more familiar with it. Let's start from the top. We have the assessor's parcel number. We have the address, 2783 Deanne Street, Live Oak. Looks like use type. It's a residential single family. Okay. And year assessed, 2013. Again, it's just going to reiterate the information we've already done. 20,000 land, 70,000 structure. As we scroll down, we have number of bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. Looks like 1,125 square feet. Built in '05, so relatively new, right? Lot acres, so it looks like 0.15 acres, and the square footage is just a little over 6,000 square feet. We also, on the right-hand side, notice a big image of this of the neighborhood, and if you look closely, you'll see a blue outline of where this property is. Not all counties will provide an image like this, and if some do, it might not always be a blue outline. So just know that that's what this county, Sutter County, does, is they give you an aerial view with a blue outline of this property. Well, it'd be great to be able to look at this property a little bit closer, maybe view the neighborhood, so we can actually go up and down the neighborhood in what's called a street view and view it. and we can find out some more information about the property. Now, I'm going to state this, usually it's multiple times throughout the call. You always want to try and physically view the properties yourself. It's always encouraged for obvious reasons. If you cannot, right, let's say it's a few states away, let's say it's a few 100 miles or a few 1,000 miles away, it's then, if you cannot physically view the property, it's encouraged that you have somebody that you trust go and take pictures of the property and send them to you, okay? Number one, and it's what Ted always swears by, make sure you physically view the property. So in this case, if you live within a few 100 miles and you know an upcoming auction's taking place, take a little weekend trip, take a day trip. Just go, have your properties picked out. You can do 99% of your, well, let's say 90% of your research online. Have the properties picked out that you want to drive by and take pictures of so you feel comfortable on the properties you're bidding on. And then you're just going to go bing, 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 choose the properties. Maybe there's 4 or 5 you want to see. You can look at them, okay? Remember, when you bid on these properties, you're going to turn, okay? I don't want to say 100%, but the goal is to turn a good, solid profit. And by doing that, what you're doing by looking or researching these properties physically is that's going to help you make that let's say better judgment call on if you want to bid on those properties or not, okay? So really it's encouraged to go physically look at the properties. If not, then somebody you trust to take pictures of it. Ultimately, we're just narrowing down the list of properties that you want to bid on, okay? So keep that in the back of your mind. Well, now that we've completed step 2 and step 3, we viewed the property information and located the physical address. The reason we have locate physical address is because not all auction lists have the physical address on the auction list. You'd be surprised. A lot of them just have either the assessor's parcel number or some other piece of information to where you actually have to go to the county website, like we just did, and find that physical address. So that's why we have it here to remind you. Well, luckily, this county already provided it to us. Okay, so we do have the physical address of the property. So let's jump down to step 4. A view image of the property directly from the property appraiser or assessor's website. Well, if we go back, you can see right here, here's an image. Now, of course, it's not good enough, right? The best image is real time, you physically walking up to the property and looking at it. But we have a couple of different methods where we can view the property, and the images that we're going to use to view the property are not updated within the past few months. Sometimes they're 6 months old, sometimes they could be a year old. This information is pulled from websites, okay, like Google, for example, or Bing. You know, these are satellite images taken of the properties that we're going to use and we're going to look. It's very important that we know what the properties look like, especially the surrounding neighborhood, but we can't guarantee that they're very recent. Okay, so again, it's always best to view the properties in person. So now let's go back. We have 5 steps. View the image of the property directly from the property appraiser or assessor's website. Well, now we've done that. Step 5 is to research the property. So what we're going to do is take advantage of the Zillow and Trulia research tools found in the above tabs towards the top of the page. Let's research recently sold properties and current real estate listings using these tools. Okay. Well, let's go back to the auction list. Here on the auction list, we have, let's pull up the property right here. I'm just going to highlight it. We have 2783 DN Street, Live Oak, okay? And we have the assessor's parcel number, and we have the minimum bid. So again, this is the minimum bid, and you want to read the county rules to know what you want to bring to the auction. But we have the physical address right here. We're able to take this physical address and enter it into a tool that Ted provides you in the membership program to provide you more information about this piece of property. Now, by saying providing you more information, it's not just going to give us how many square feet, right? How big the lot is, what the assessed value is, what the taxes are. This tool that I'm about to show you will show you 2 very important things. The first thing being, wouldn't it be nice to know what properties recently sold in that area? That's huge. That's probably the best possible thing that you can use to compare your property's value with a property that's recently sold, right? So you're able to find out, using this tool, all the properties that are recently sold in the area, when they sold, what they sold for, okay, so how much they sold for, and you're able to find detailed information about those properties. For example, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms. Is it a one-car or a two-car garage? How big the lot is? And you're able to see where it's located in relation to the property that we're researching. That's so powerful. So we're going to take advantage of that. The second thing we'll go over, and I'll show you in a second, is to find current properties that are listed, so that are up for sale in that vicinity of the property that you're researching. And the main important reason for that is to know, once you purchase this property at auction, you're going to go to the auction, or you're going to bid on the property, and you're going to own it. This is a tax deed auction. So you're purchasing the property for the back taxes, okay? Plus, if you end up bidding against somebody, you're going to purchase it for more. But when you go to sell this property, whether you decide to fix it up and sell it or flip it immediately, maybe find a neighbor or what have you to purchase the property from you at a tremendous discount, you'll want to know what properties are currently listed on the market, because that's going to be your competition, okay? So those two things we're able to find out just by one tool that's Ted's provided inside the membership area. So let's go back, click on the back button. Everybody will see this. It says free appraisal data, Zillow, and the bottom it says how to appraise property online. Let's go ahead and click on that. Well, what we have here is the Zillow research tool. We can enter the property address in the search box below. So right here is where the property address will go. So what I'm going to do is go to the auction list. I'm going to copy the property address. Okay, copy. In most cases, this is all you need. You don't need to copy the whole city and state. Zillow, in most cases, is smart enough to understand where that property is located. So let's try that first. Let's click on paste. Let's click go. And it's going to find it right here. Your search for 2783 Deanne Street, Live Oak, California. Okay. Now it's going to tell us if the property is currently listed for sale or not. In most cases, the properties aren't going to be listed for sale. Okay. So we have. I'm going to go over some information that Zillow provides you, and I'm going to tell you what's important. Okay. What a lot of people believe is really important about Zillow, but what they actually miss. And what they do not do, most people, is take advantage of the two resources that I just covered for you. Okay? So what Zillow is known for is assessing properties. So it's known for giving an estimated value of the property for you. Because a lot of people are lazy, it's very nice to know an estimated value of your property. But we never encourage you to go off of what Zillow tells you an estimated value for your property is. You don't want a computer, or let's say in this case it's a program, right? There's an algorithm and a big database and all these things, all these numbers that they crunch to come up with an estimated value of the property. Well, right now we're talking about 2783 Deanne Street. If we look, right here we'll see Zestimate. Okay? Zestimate is just an estimated value of the property that Zillow is telling you what the property's worth. Zillow is saying, here's this estimate, here's what we think the value of the property is, and it's going to list it. It's going to put $124,000. That's the number it's assigning. Now, if you ask anybody, any professional in the industry, they're going to say, no, don't go with that. Okay? It's a rough number. It's nice to know, I guess, but there's a lot more information that you need to do. You need to do your due diligence, and you need to start by finding recently sold properties in the area. Okay? If you ever feel that you want to bring a real estate agent on, that's very common. Bring a real estate agent on to do these for you. They're able to find. They'll do a CMA, which is a comparable market analysis. Okay, and that CMA is going to pull all the recently sold properties in the area, how much they sold for, and the real estate agent uses some other techniques to figure out an estimated value for your property and what it's going to sell for. Now, why is the agent going to help you? Because they would like the listing after you purchase it. Okay. That's why. And I'm not telling you the agent's going to do it for free, because they probably won't. But you can make an agreement with them. Usually they charge a fixed fee for a CMA. Again, it's a comparable or competitive, they call it both, market analysis. Okay? And again, all that is just a list of recently sold properties and how those compare to your property. Similar number of bedrooms, similar number of baths, similar one or two car garage, same lot size, and they'll have an estimated value for you. Well, let's look at this big map here on the left. This is a big neighborhood, it looks like, and our property is somewhere in here. If we get lost and don't know where our property is, you can come over here on the right and just hover over the address. 2783, and you'll see on the left now, you'll see a little pop-up. So the 124,348. Well, that's where our property is. Okay, so we're able to click on that and view some more detailed information about the property. But right now, because we're actually getting a little too late, we'll close this up in about 10 minutes. I want to show you those two really, really important resources that you guys need to take advantage of. Now, first, you'll notice a little house. See, on every single one of these houses, you see a little gray house. That little gray house just signifies that this property has an estimated value that Zillow has put on it. So if you hover over it, you're able to see the estimated value of these properties. Now, again, we don't encourage you to go on this, okay? But all it does is denote where a property is. So you're able to say, okay, there's a property here, there's a property here. Well, let's get past that. Let's find properties that are currently for sale, okay? So properties that are currently for sale that will ultimately be your competition. In some cases, I've done this call, and there's no properties for sale in the area. Other cases, there's tons of properties for sale, okay? So you take it for what it's worth. In some cases, if there's no properties for sale, that might be a good thing, okay? Maybe there's less competition. That's going to help you sell it faster. If there's tons of properties for sale, maybe it's because it's a hot market. You never know, okay? So you're going to want to do your research and find out maybe why, right? Make a phone call, talk to an agent, whatever it takes, but you're able to do your research online. That's the bottom line. So now we can see down here, see this little red house? That red house, all the houses are gray, but you'll notice one down here is red, okay? The red house lets us know that this property is currently for sale. Well, that's only one property. It looks like it's for sale for $375,000. Now, always remember what a property is listed for, what it's put up for sale for. It doesn't mean it's the value of the property. That's just what the homeowners at that time want for, or are making the asking price for the property. Okay, could be way inflated, so you need to take that into consideration as well. Let's go ahead and zoom out, see if we can find any other properties that are currently for sale in this area. And if you look on the top right of this map area, there's a plus sign and a minus sign. Let's go ahead and click that minus sign a couple times and see if we see any more properties that are for sale. So yes, it looks like there's another one for $415,000. Now, if you want to find out detailed information about these properties, you can actually click right here on this house, and it's going to take you to information about that property. We see one up here for $80,000. Okay, so now we have an idea. There's not too many listings, not too many properties that are up for sale, but we can look at them, find them, and do a little research on it. Now, the most important resource that Zillow provides is a list of recently sold properties. And this information regarding how much the property is sold for are pulled directly from the county's website, okay, from the county data. So they're hard numbers. They're true numbers. These are actually what properties are sold for. Now, to find out what recent properties have sold, let's click on this little filter button. Okay, it's located at the top. And we're going to check this little checkbox right next to this yellow house. That's for recently sold properties. Let's go ahead and check that. We'll click the X again. And you can see there are a ton of properties that have sold. Okay. Now, I don't want to say recently because not a lot of them have recently sold. Some of them might have been a year out, year and a half. Others maybe 3 months or 6 months. I haven't actually clicked on these to find out when they've recently sold. I'm doing this all blind right now with you, showing you how the tool works. Let's go ahead and zoom back in. And now that we're zoomed in, let's say we got lost. We don't know where our property is now because we want to understand where our property is in relation to where the recently sold properties are. So let's again hover over our address here on the top right, and you'll see this map area on the left. You'll see our property pop up. See that? So that our property is located right here, and we have one. It looks like 2 houses down. It sold for $91,000. Let's go ahead and just click on this. This one sold. This is 2745. It sold on October 19th. 2011. Okay, so that was 2 years ago. In most cases, and everybody has their own opinion. In most cases, they say if you go past 6 months, usually don't even consider it. Okay, take it for what it's worth, but you always want something that's 6 months or less. Okay, and there's a lot of people that have a lot of experience, including some of you who are on this call that might have some more input. So let's go ahead and close that. Let's find out some other properties. We have one here that sold for $90,000. Look, that sold in 2011 too. Another one, looks like a lot of these sold in 2011. 55. This one sold in 2012 June. Okay, so we can keep kind of going around. You get a rough idea of properties or what the values are in this neighborhood. Okay, we have a couple over here. It looks like 70,000, 75,000. So again, you're able to click on these properties and find out more information about them. So are they comparable to your property? Do they have a similar number of bedrooms, similar number of baths? Okay, and we're able to get, I always call it a 50-foot overview, right? And literally, we're a few hundred feet overview of the properties on here, but you kind of get a general idea of what asking prices are, properties selling. You get kind of the state, a rough state of the market, right? If there aren't too many that have sold, is there a reason? You know, there's all these questions that start getting posed, but you can start making your notes, okay? So now that we've researched the property, this particular property, we have an understanding of what's recently sold in the area and a rough idea of what the estimated value is for that property, okay? So now I have a question that comes in. It says, what do all of the colors mean? So I just covered two of those colors. One color down here, everyone will see red. That means what the current property, that means the current property is listed for sale, okay? So this is a red house. That means this is currently listed on the market. You can buy this property right now. The yellow means that it's sold, okay? So again, I always say recently sold, it looks like within the past year or 2 years, okay? So these are just recent sales histories, so a recent sale, and you're able to click on that, find out when it's sold and what the property looks like. So you're able to see an image of the property and how big the property is, how many number of bedrooms, how big the lot size is, etc. So let's go back to the program. And for those of you who have never used Zillow or would like a more in-depth tutorial of what I just did tonight, I encourage everybody to scroll down and click on the Zillow tutorial tips to help you successfully appraise properties. There's a big play button. Simply click on that. It's a 20-minute long tutorial, and it's going to show you all of the steps that we just covered, plus in a little bit more detail. So make sure you watch that if you've never taken advantage of the Zillow research tool. Let's go back. Now that we've done the Zillow research tool, we're going to jump down here to the left. This is Advanced Property Appraisal Research Tool. This is Trulia. Trulia is very similar to Zillow. It's going to give you an estimated value of the property. It's going to show you images of the property, and it's going to show you recent sales as well as what's currently listed on the market. So we're not going to click on that. It's very similar, and the reason we have that inside of the program is because Ted always believes, and I'm sure we all do, 2 opinions are better than 1. Okay? So again, this is going to give you what it believes, what Trulia believes is an estimated value of your property. Moving on, we have tips on using your tablet. Ashley and I made these for you, and they answer the more basic questions. So how to turn on the tablet, how to use the tablet, how to connect to wireless internet. These are all big, big videos that you can click on and watch. Okay, we're not going to cover it, but just when you come here, you'll know that we show you how to turn it on, how to connect to Wi-Fi, how to set up a Google account so you can update applications. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry, you're not alone. Just come in here, watch these videos. It'll take you probably 20, 30 minutes total. Grab a nice cup of coffee. Watch them, and you'll be very familiar with how your tablet functions. So make sure you take some time out to do that. We're going to go back. We have the Finally Bid for Assets explained in detail. This is what we covered tonight. Okay, remember we went to bidforassets.com. We found an upcoming tax auction, and then we researched it. Well, this breaks down step by step from registering on Bid for Assets to creating an account, to if you decide that you want to bid on properties, it tells you how to place money inside of the account, right? So you have it available for you to bid on the properties. It answers all of your questions. So make sure you click on that and you watch that tutorial. Okay, that's relatively new. It went in just a few weeks ago, so make sure you take some time and watch that. Very, very important. And again, Bid for Assets is a program. Also, it's a website, but it's designed to provide upcoming tax auctions for you to view and bid online. So you can do this right from your house, okay? So now moving on, we have a bonus. We covered this last week. There's actually been a couple of changes, okay? And we have some more stuff we're dropping in. The bonus is only for Canadians in this case. And it's what we call our Jumpstart package. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And this is Lee Phillips. I have it start automatically. So make sure when you come to this, make sure your volume's a little down. It's not, what do they call it, not safe for work, right? A lot of people don't like videos that automatically play, but we just did it to make it easy. This was an interview that Ted did with Lee Phillips. Okay, Lee's an attorney who's well-versed in what our friends up north, what you Canadians need to do. I know there's quite a few on the call, in order to invest in the United States. Okay, and he talks about LLCs, the importance of them, how to set them up, kind of how the structure is, and how it's going to benefit you. So you want to make sure you watch this. This is a 47-minute long interview that Ted does with Lee, and Lee pumps so much information. He throws so much information at you. You need to make sure that you have a notepad or you're ready to watch it 2 or 3 times. So it's very, very good information. We are also in this area, we're adding forms, right, that you guys will need to fill out and set up, and we also have an instructional sheet coming. So this area has been modified just over the last few days, and we're dropping some more information in. Give us another week or so to get some updated content in, but it's going to walk you through step by step on what you need to do, how to set up your company, right, and how to ultimately invest in real estate in the United States. It all starts by watching this video, so make sure you take some time out and watch that. So just from what we've talked about, you already can see that there's probably a good 4 or 5 hours of stuff that you'll want to come here, you'll want to sit in over the week, find maybe a couple of hours over the weekend too, and just go through each step, right? Watch the tutorials, get familiar with the program, what's being offered for you. And we've only touched on one, I'm going to try and wrap this up. I know it's getting late. We've only touched on one small auction tonight. And we've actually we found the auction list, and we were able to research a piece of property on that auction list, and to make us, let's say, an educated decision, at least much better than where we were before we started, on if we want to continue researching that property. Maybe we want to take a trip down. Let's have a list of 5 or 6 properties, go over there. There's auctions for tax. There's tax deed auctions, so auctions to own the property all the time. You saw in Bid for Assets, there were probably 6, 7, or 8 upcoming auctions just over the next month or two. That's only Bid for Assets. You can research every county in the United States and find out when their upcoming auctions are. So this is only the tip of the iceberg, but we do this to show you how you can take advantage of the benefits that are given to you inside of this program, so how they're going to be able to help you to stay on track, okay? Now, I'm done talking. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear me talk any longer, but it's very important that you come back every week because we're constantly adding new stuff to this program, and we love your feedback. Every Wednesday or Thursday, we hear from you guys about feedback about the program, and that's why we're constantly developing it. So the more often you come back, the more it's going to benefit you. We love to hear from you. You're going to work with me directly. Tell me directly what your thoughts are. I like this. Maybe you could use this. Hey, have you thought about this? Some of the greatest ideas or things that have been added have came directly from you guys, from the students. So let us know your thoughts, and find some time. Take a little break this week. Go through this and choose an upcoming auction. Research your own property, right? So come in here, research your own property, find out what you feel it's worth. You can go snoop around, find your parents or your kids or your neighbors, go look at their properties and find out all that good stuff. There's tons of information, especially using that Zillow research tool and knowing how to use it. So again, I'm going to quit talking now. We're going to go ahead and open it up. If you have questions, let's spend a few minutes answering questions, getting those for you. And we really appreciate the turnout. You're very welcome, Sherry and Bruce. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you again for coming. I know it's week in and week out, and that's what it's all about. Okay, great. Thank you, Terry. Glad you came. All right, so we had Terry, who said that he followed along on his tablet, and it made the session much better. So that's something that you guys might want to consider next time. Okay, so if you can follow right along on your tablet. I know the majority of you probably sit at your computer or your laptop, and we'll do it that way. If you want to follow on your tablet, you can completely do that too. That's perfectly fine. You'll probably learn some stuff out of it too. All right. Yep, some compliments on the new website layout. Yep, we're learning. The easier we make it, the better it is for everybody. So we're going to constantly keep improving it. You're very welcome, Grant. Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate it. Fantastic. I'll pass the word. You guys are so great. Thanks, George. Thanks, James. And you guys are awesome. I have a lot of Christmas presents to buy this year, I guess, don't I? Thank you, Masako. Thanks, Warren. Wendy asked, is the tablet equipped for stereo sound? I'm just going to go on a limb and answer yes. It should be. It should be equipped for stereo sound. So like if you plug in, um, uh, let's say, headphones to it, you'll be able to hear audio out of both your left and the right ear. So you'll hear stereo sound. Okay. Good tech question. Thanks, Harry. Glad you came on. Fantastic, Louise. Please come back next Tuesday if you can. You'll find some more improvements, and that's for everybody. Make sure you come back every week. I'd love to hear your input, so please feel free to shoot me an email directly, Gary, G-A-R-Y, at Ted.Thomas.com, and let us know your thoughts. Thanks, Carrie. All right, yeah, please do, Wendy. Go ahead and email private, all right? Hi, Ron. So Ron asked, along with the video replay, could we provide a list of the Sutter County websites we visited so a tech challenge people can follow along? That's actually a really great idea. It's hard. We don't want to make it too confusing. Like my first thought is we add the replay on this link right here at the top of the page, okay? And that goes to an individual page. Like this is last week's, right? And I think that's a fantastic idea. We could probably break down the links down below it. I'll go ahead and make that note right now. And that'll probably help a lot of people out. So thanks, Ron. That's a very good suggestion. Okay, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Let's give it another 30 seconds or so. Shoot your questions over while I make a couple of notes. And look for the replay sometime tomorrow by the end of the day. Now, by the end of the day for me is, let's say 5 p.m. Eastern, but it doesn't always work out that way. So I know we have a lot of people that are 3 hours later. So let's say by 7 or 8 p.m. tomorrow night, you guys will have it, okay? Cindy asked if there is a spot to find older replays. Currently, there is not. We're working on an archive, and it's a nice little build-out because we have so many replays. So we had to really think about how we wanted to make that available, and we couldn't just drop 10 or 15 videos inside of that. So we had to actually section it out and break it up, and that's currently being worked on now. It's not anything that's going to be able to be available or viewable over the next week, but hopefully within the next 2 weeks, okay? Everybody will receive an email once that's available for you guys to view, so you can go back and see previous training sessions. All right. Go ahead and keep shooting your questions in. Just finishing making a couple of notes. All right, we have Ken. Ken asked, when you buy a property sometimes people are living in the house. Sometimes they are. Mailing address of the owner is the same as the property. What happens? That's a great question. I'm not going to answer that. That's a question for Coach Crystal on Wednesday night. Okay. Mailing address is the same as the owner. If the mailing address of the owner is the same as the property, what happens? That's a good question. Crystal will be able to help you that tomorrow at 9 p.m. I can tell you in your research, which I think you're familiar with, that if the mailing address of the owner is actually at a different location, then there's a better chance that that property is going to go to auction, because in some cases the owner does not receive that letter from the county that the upcoming auction is coming up, that the property is going to be auctioned off. So I don't want to get too deep in that, but ask Coach Crystal that. You'll have a definitive answer tomorrow night, okay? All right, thank you, Alex. Alex had maybe created another archive website. Thanks, Alex. We'll take that into thought. So, Ken, just to go back, there are some creative ways, okay, to get tenants out. I don't want to act like I just completely didn't answer your question, but Crystal will have some good ideas for you, and she'll be able to help you out, okay? All right, Yvonne, will you just do us a favor and go ahead and email me directly, and we'll look at that for you? Just go ahead and copy what you did or retype it. Just send me an email directly, and let's touch base sometime tomorrow. I'll go ahead and reach back out to you, okay? You got it. All right, guys, well, we're wrapping up. Thank you very much. It was a great session. We had a fantastic turnout. just keeps growing and growing every week. And enjoy the week. Spend time with family. Eat dinner. Enjoy the night. Thank you guys for coming. Have a great night.